I feel like it's so hard to know what's right in this world. I mean, what it is you're supposed to do, you know? Just trying to survive here, and like, I feel like everything's got so crazy and upside down in so many ways. I don't know how to deal with it, you know? When I talk about, like, you know, not knowing what's right, I mean, well, for instance, you know, for one example, like, a lot of instances, you know, people come around looking for help or a handout or something like that, you know? But people, for the most part, will just walk all over you, use and abuse you, and, you know, violate your personal space and your fucking boundaries and everything. If you let them, you know. They can really bite you in the ass trying to be nice to people. I feel like in a world, you know, a lot of time where people are just nasty and fucked up, that it's like trying to be a kind person or something really fuck you over, you know. Sometimes. That's just one aspect of it, but I mean, you know, in general, there's so much weird shit going on in the world. So much crazy stuff, you know. And we're told that what our life is just supposed to be spent chasing after money, you know, trying to work some job, trying to make a living, you know, just to have most basic thing like just shelter, place to sleep. To even be allowed something as basic as shelter from the storm, a little bit of warmth in wintertime, the ability to make some food, or, you know, just a place to keep our stuff, a place to be, you know. It's like it's all luxury now, you know. And in so many ways, you know, I keep finding myself kind of confronted somewhat with just, you know, thinking about the whole religious aspect. So I used to be really hard, you know, pretty, you know, Christian and everything. How I believe that's what was going on in the world, and in some ways I feel like the promises of God and everything have been stripped away from humanity here, you know. And it's hard to see how you know, loving, benevolent creator would create a world like this that could turn out like this, you know, would allow all this messed up shit to go on, you know. I'll give you this, though, it definitely seems like there's some kind of like demonic shit going on in the world. Again, but if there's some all-powerful, you know, loving, benevolent creator, then why would he allow this messed up stuff in the world, you know? I mean, there's some like really bad stuff, you know, that there's root causes to a lot of the problems here, you know? Like, the ridiculous cost of, you know, basic necessities of living, for one thing, you know? The big root cause to a lot of the problems we have in the world. Crime and the drug use and all this so on and so forth. A lot of that probably just, you know, stems from the fact that so many people can't afford to live. The world is set up in such a way where it makes people miserable. People are losing their fucking minds here, man. I get it. The world has become a place, you know, to where the reality of the world is something that many people can help but want to escape from, you know? I don't know what to do in this world, you know? I don't know. It just, it's so crazy, you know? Everything seems so fake. Like, really feel like I'm in some kind of like Matrix, Truman Show, hell type of thing or something, you know? I'll tell you, I'll try to be more specific about how it feels. You know, I already said like Truman Show, but you know what this feels like? It feels like I'm on some kind of reality. You know, there was like a reality show back in the. Wasn't there some reality show back in the day where they brought this one guy on that thought that he was just on a reality show with a bunch of random people, but all the other people that were on the reality show were actors that were all just fucking with his head? There was some show like that. Like that's kind of what this place feels like. It feels like there's a huge group of people that are like colluding together just to like screw with my head, screw with my life, and it's like if they like something I do or say or something for a while, they have a more like if yeah, it's almost like a popularity contest. Like if I say something that somebody doesn't like, the whole lot of them hear it or whatever. If somebody's offended, then my days are shitty because like everybody's in it together on this Truman Show and they're unhappy with me. They make my life miserable. If they're happy with me, then they might let me have a good day or something like that. It's almost what it feels like, kind of. I mean, in a sense, it really feels like everything is fucking scripted, man. I go out making deliveries, and it feels like the orders I get are all chosen, you know, by the whatever the actors in the Truman Show that I'm on or whatever, you know. I'm surrounded by them when I go to the store. I'm surrounded by them when I go to pick up an order from a restaurant. I feel like I'm surrounded by them, you know, even no matter what I go to do. I feel like they're everywhere, is what it feels like. I mean, I don't think necessarily everyone's in on it. It really feels like it's a blend of different types of people. It feels like some people are kind, and there's a lot of people that malevolent or you know hateful towards me. Other people are. It seems like some people in this shit seem like NPCs, you know. And then others seem like they're almost like demonic, but they're acting as though they're not or something. I don't know. It's a lot of weird shit. It's a weird mix of weird cast of characters, basically. But yeah, that's what it feels like. It's kind of like a Truman Show type of thing, but it's more like. You ever see the Netflix series The Good Place? You know how like Eleanor and Chidi and I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 of them up there or whatever that are like real, and everybody else there is like a demon in disguise, basically. And like the whole fucking cast of characters up there most of the time is just trying to, do things to fuck with their head. Like that's kind of what it feels like. Like it's like the good place, But instead of saying, trying to trick me into thinking I'm in heaven, they, trick me into thinking I'm alive on Earth or something, and just make me suffer through it. Kind of how it feels. Shit feels scripted, man. You ever heard? I've heard people talk about like simulation theory and like the idea of being on a Truman Show or something. I don't hear much about like what they call actor-based reality. I've heard a little bit about it, but I mean, it does a lot of time, and which is kind of the Truman Show type of idea, but that's what it feels like. Like I'm on some kind of damn TV show or something, and there's all these weird things trying to like, I don't know, just to mess with my head. A lot of gaslighting, a lot of messing with my head, messing with my energy field. And a lot of pressure from people to try to get me to, I don't know, to conform or push me beyond my limits or something. I don't know how to put this. It does. It feels like there's some power, whether this is like a computer simulation or some kind of hell where I'm surrounded by a bunch of like demons in disguise that are like actors or something that are just playing a role. And I mean, I've had some real weird experiences that I think about sometimes that lead me to believe this is. It really feels sometimes like the whole fabric of reality or something is being warped in ways just to like fucking mess with my head. You know? Some things are like tests, like a bunch of tests and stuff. I get that some of it's like testing me or whatever. Like that's what it feels like I'm being, judged by a bunch of people who feel like they have some kind of moral superiority or some shit like that. But they're just like fucking with me and gaslighting me and messing with my head and messing with my life around every turn, playing character roles and stuff like that. Like actors is what it feels like a lot of the time. No, I mean it's true. I mean people. I don't talk that much about being what people call a targeted individual, but I mean, well, because I don't get into that as much because it feels like it doesn't seem like some kind of. It seems like a supernatural type of thing. Like something that would only be possible if I was in like the Matrix or something, in some kind of computer simulation where people from outside the simulation are just able to fucking mess with my life. But it's almost, I don't know, like I'm a you know some character like on the Truman Show type of shit or something. But just getting like screwed with. I mean, I guess you could use the way that they set up scenes in Truman's life to make him develop a fear of boats and water and stuff, so that he wouldn't be able to escape. Like that's kind of a decent example, or like a stage light falls from the sky and then the radio comes on and is like, yo, the airplane shedding parts. Now I really run into like numerous situations where Well, there's, for one thing, I've had times in my life where I used various techniques I just kind of almost discovered by accident to try to get away from stuff. Or sometimes it was just the frame of mind I was in where I kind of blank slated my mind and just kind of zoned out, or just, I don't know, like, you know how you can kind of get away from like the Truman Show shit, and this is a trick. If you're dealing with like the targeted individual stuff, fall around everywhere, and it's like, feels like you're in a Truman Show, Matrix Hell type of situation or whatever. Check this out, all right? There's ways that you can start to understand what I'm talking about here. The trick is, if you're gonna go somewhere, or if you want to observe, say, for instance, a field of animals frozen in place as you're driving through the country, right? It has to do with observing without observing, not making your thoughts known to your internal dialogue or your internal visualization. Like seeing or listening without making it known within your mind that you're seeing or listening in a way, because it's like something can read your thoughts or something, is what it seems like. And of course, there's basic like technological tricks you could do too, obviously, right? Like there's an app called Anti-Spy, for instance, and I'm sure there's others where you could like try to block your GPS or spoof a fake GPS location or something like that, you know. Well, I mean, like if you're going somewhere, you want to be able to go somewhere and without people, without your perps or whatever necessarily being there right away, or catching them off guard, so you can catch them like acting fucking weird and shit like that. You know what I mean? I've had these experiences sometimes just by accident, but I realized what it was. There's a number of things that I experienced that I couldn't. I would have a hard. It's difficult to explain, but nearest I could come to it to explaining like how I have had certain types of experiences where I have observed things that are, incredibly strange, that lead me to believe that this is some type of a strange, like Matrix Truman Show type of thing, and not like a group of normal people or something. That it's like supernatural. Is that one of the ways you can observe this? Like I said, I said it before. The trick is to operate from a higher realm of consciousness, not letting your mind know what you're thinking, not letting the visualization of your mind know what you're seeing, not knowing, not letting your mind hear what it is you're hearing, not thinking what your intentions are to be, but just being, Well, it's kind of how do you do it? Well, it's kind of like, the scene in, what was it, the Last Samurai, where he's like, excuse, too many mind. He said, too many mind. He said, mind the sword, mind the footwork, mind of the enemy, no mind. And then right? You gotta be able to, like, get into almost like a Zen state of mind that is, or state of being, which is kind of like a higher consciousness or something. And if you can do that, if you can block it, like for instance, Now, it's hard to do these things with intent, because with intent becomes focus, comes thought, right? Like if you plan to, I give you like more simplistic types of ways, and uh, like instead of planning to go to Walmart or planning to go to Safeway, at the very least you could just, well, don't think about it. So, just go. Don't clearly indicate or make a decision within your mind as to which place you will go. But when you get somewhere, just pull in there randomly without thinking about pulling in there, or visualizing pulling in there, or thinking about what's inside the place and giving away your position, right? And what you might find is that you'll pull into a store that, in your experience, is normally very crowded. You're surrounded by all sorts of perps, and now all of a sudden you pull in there and there's only a couple of cars in the parking lot. Strange, that is. Or you might go out for a drive. If you manage not to visualize these things, you might be used to being surrounded by a massive amount of traffic, but you might, without thinking about it, without intending, just randomly go out to your car, hop in, start it up, and start going for a drive, and at least for a while, until they catch on to what you're doing, you may find that you're all by yourself out there on the road for a while. Or if you sit in your apartment or your house or whatever, somewhere in the city, where normally there would be a bunch of traffic and, cars driving around and people wandering around out on the street, crowding everything. If some time without thinking or intending to do so, without visualizing in your mind what your intentions are, you may notice, you can notice without thinking of what you're noticing, that at this time, you do not hear the sound of an engine. Without thinking of it, you may look out the window and find that there are no cars on the street. Or you may find that something very strange is going on out there that you can't explain. Yeah. I started to note that if I would drive down the street, and if I could manage to do it like like when I'm driving around out in the country and there's like fields of cows and sheep and all this kind of stuff, that in many instances, if I look with my peripheral, if I can manage not to visualize what it is I'm seeing within my mind's eye, then I can observe a field full of animals that seem to be frozen in place. As my observation becomes conscious and the visualization of what I'm seeing reaches my mind's eye, they begin to move. Mm-hmm. You can start to observe things being strange if you're just, when you're dealing with the strange stuff, like there's a lot of other things that you might be missing. You may be focused on, the fact that you're feeling like you're being followed. Why is the same car there everywhere I go? Why are these same people there everywhere I go? Right? But you see, it could go beyond that. Start to observe the types of things that are in license plates, the types of stickers you see on the cars, and not just the people, but the people as well. Just start to be observant of all the strange sort of, more observant of details, and you might start to notice just how strange this whole thing is, you know? But as far as trying, being able to like catch like the equivalent of when Truman walks up to the uh, door or an elevator shaft and the back of the elevator is off and there's a whole room back there and they act like there's some kind of a elevator accident or something that happened, that's bullshit him and everything, or when he tries to go on a trip and he's like, and there's all these cars blocking him. Then he pretends like he's gonna go someplace else, thinks like he's gonna go someplace else, goes back to the same road and there's no car. Look, same road, no cars, right? That sort of thing. You can achieve that sort of thing. You can for time. For one thing, don't think about where you're going or visualize it in your mind. See, that's the tough one. Don't tell anyone where you're going. Don't leave your GPS running about where you're going. There's various ways that. Mm-hmm. And you may find that you can go somewhere and it's not so crowded as it otherwise would have been had people known that you were going there. You know what I mean? That's just. But then once they find out that you're there, well, then there comes the crowd. That's. I mean, there's some pretty weird shit that I've experienced. I'll give you some example. There's a lot of examples. Honestly, I don't know where to even begin. I remember one day I went. I don't remember how many years back this was. I'd already started to observe how sometimes I could avoid being followed and around everywhere. Sometimes with certain techniques, like I noticed that people would if somebody saw me going to get in my car, people would ask me where I was going or which way I'm gonna take and things like that. Right? Ask me all sorts of little questions, and if I started to lie to them or say I was going one way and then decide to go another, then sometimes I'd go the other way, and I'd find that suddenly I was alone on the road. I'd go someplace else other than where I'd acted like I was intending to go, and I wouldn't just say that I was intending to go some other way. I would think that that's the way I was going to go, and then I would just drive right past it. Now all of a sudden I find myself alone out on the road. No cars in front of me, no cars behind me. I get to the destination that I really wanted to go to while thinking about a different destination the whole time. When I get to the destination I actually wanted to go to, I find it's rather empty. And the people there behave strangely and surprised. Like they're just in a rush to get in character. Yeah. But I mean, it really feels like this is some kind of a weird, I don't know what the heck. Just a lot of strange stuff. I'll give you, there's a bunch of examples. There was a whole lot of this 316 shit and 666 shit that I would run into. A lot of 666s and then a number of, instances of the 316s. Like a lot of times on the days when things seem to be going better for me, there will be more positive music coming on the radio, certain songs repeating. And, I'll be out making deliveries. There's a car in front of me with the 316 and the license plate. All the freaking people ordering food or whatever have names that are like names of books from the Bible, and all the addresses are like 315 or 216, which is, apartment address, or the apartment right above me is 316, or, stuff like that, right? Just all sorts of weird numbers and symbolism. My birthday last year, I was out making deliveries. I pull up to the stoplight, the cars in front of me. The two cars in front of me had my initials and my birthday and the license plate. I drive through the light. There's construction going on in this apartment complex. A dude's wearing a shirt with my initials on it. The name of some company, apparently. But the logo is my initials. Yeah, like that. There were a lot of strange stuff like that. A lot of shit doesn't add up about this place. And I don't know what the hell I can do about it, because I feel like I'm in a situation where the way the world is set up, with the ridiculous cost of living, and the lack of companionship with like-minded people who have similar experiences and so on, and that just being surrounded by a lot of people that seem to be, frankly, spies and perps, to put it in terms that, target individual would use. Basically, perps, people that are like, I feel like, specifically planted in my life just to mess with my head or try to corrupt me, or people that are there to observe me or something, or to, question me or whatever, right? I don't know. Take for instance this chick that shows up that it's like she's homeless and crazy or whatever. It would not surprise me at all. Like with the stuff I've experienced in my life, it would not surprise me if all of this chick that seems totally schizo and whacked out and like she's can't even function. And, it would not surprise me if she was completely coherent and the whole thing was just an act. And she shows up over here to like mess with my head and you're on. It would not surprise me one bit if afterwards she takes off and goes back to some house or apartment somewhere where she has her own place, and where she, is able to, and is completely coherent and clear, and if her, entire outfit and her entire demeanor and persona were nothing but a disguise and an act a role that she was playing, it would not surprise me, because I really feel like a lot of the people that I've run into in my life are just playing a character role. That really is how it feels. Again, it's similar to like the Truman Show type of thing, right? Truman's wife is an actor. The guy he thinks is his best friend is an actor. His parents are fucking actors, not really his parents. So on and so forth, right? His job isn't real. Like, none of it's fucking real. That's really how it feels, man. It totally feels that way. I'm not sure how much of this world is even real, you know? It just seems like a big fucking show going on that I'm forced to be a part of because it's like I'm trapped on the set or something, you know? Like I'm trapped in some kind of a weird biodome or, you know, like the Truman show, you know, where he's in some big biodome or like I don't know. You know that have you seen the show Westworld, right? It's like a theme park for assholes that want to go and like torment these like biological robots or something. And they just go in there and like and they just keep wiping the memory of the robots and stuff and resetting them and going people go there like a theme park so they can just fucking, you know, kill the robots and mess with the robots and, you know, so on and so forth. Play like they're in the old west, you know. And then some of the robots start to wake up, you know, and realize what's going on and you know, the whole world they're in is fake, you know, and there's a whole different world outside of the fake world that they're trapped in, you know. And that's the way this world feels. It does. It feels like it's some kind of, I don't know, there's all kinds of movies that kind of touch on the subject of how it is I feel, you know. The Matrix, Truman Show, They Live, uh, come on, Bliss, Upside Down, 13th Floor, you know. And then there's the Netflix series Westworld and the Netflix series The Good Place, you know. Dark City, right? A bunch of, you know, that's something fucking weird is going on here, you know. This is not what it's made out to be. This is not real in any normal sense of the word real, you know. It really doesn't seem like it is at all. It really feels like I'm in, like, especially nowadays, as weird as the world has gotten now, you know, versus what it was like, you know, 20, 30 years ago. I feel like I'm one of a small portion of people that notices how strange everything is, you know. Like I'm rare, and like you know, there's less of us here than there used to be, and there's more of these other people or creatures or something. Was it Dolores said, you know, who's they, Dolores? The ones who look like us, but they are not us, you know. They took our minds. Like, just talks about, yeah, I don't know, it definitely feels like there's something here, something, some group of people or something not human, something that is just so strange and so foreign, you know, to like the world that I grew up in. And somehow I'm like trapped here with them, you know. East Coast Canadian did this skit about, you know, this whole skit about like, you know, clown world, like somebody had shifted dimensions or something and they were trapped in clown world or something, you know. I guess that's what it feels like, you know. It's like I'm in some fucking weird, really strange world that I don't belong in at all, you know. There's others like me. We're just like trapped in this place with this very, very strange place. It's so fucking place in this world, dude. I'm like homesick for a world that maybe doesn't exist anymore or something, you know. Feels like I've been kidnapped, you know. Like we've been abducted by aliens or something and dropped into some weird, like, screwed up, super flawed replica of the world we grew up, you know. Like a hell, you know. I've heard it said that, hell is just your life. Everything goes wrong in your life and in the world and stuff like that. Like, that's what this place feels like. It just, everything seems so inverted and upside down and backwards from the way things are supposed to work and the way things used to be. It doesn't seem like it would be possible for something like this to happen in a real world. Certainly not in such a short time. It would take, I would think, hundreds, if not thousands of years for the sort of shit that's happened just over the last 30 years to happen. It's weird. I was thinking about my birthday. Just almost a year ago, I'll be 41 next month. I was just thinking how that doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Now, like a year ago doesn't seem that long ago. It's not that hard to even remember, like, my birthday 2 years ago when I turned 39. Went bowling. Got a good score bowling. I don't remember what the score was, but it was probably about the highest score I ever got bowling. Like getting close to like 200 or I don't remember what the hell it was. 300, whatever the fuck. It was, not a perfect game, but as close as I probably ever got to one. Things have been so freaking strange in my life for so long. So many strange things going on for a long, long time. And I'm in a phase now where it just feels like there's even more forces coming, like trying to just derail me, to keep me from getting on task and from being able to get back to like getting ahead a little bit or something. I need a major shift, a major transformation for the better. I really do. It's crazy, man. I really feel like there's like dark forces like hard at work. The But like where the tactics have switched up and things are different. Like they're fucking with me and on my job more now. Not that they didn't before, but I mean different ways. And all these distractions, all these manipulations. Which there's been all kinds of weird manipulations and distractions. No, the stuff I experienced, I mean, some of the shit's just standard fucking, but I mean, they always switch things up a bit. I can give you like some examples of the sort of shit that happened when I was starting doing DoorDash and stuff, for instance, because Well, a lot of the stuff I've observed, been able to observe more over the last like year and a half because I've actually been out there more often, spending all day in store parking lots or driving around town, driving around out in the country and things. So I've made a lot of observations over this period of time of the types of strange things that I've experienced, and many of these instances have been repeated. I can tell you that when I was doing DoorDash, I don't know if I already mentioned all the strange fake names of people that would order stuff. Or I probably mentioned the a whole lot of uh, recurring theme of 316s and 666s. When it was the 666s, there'd be creepy like devil songs coming on the radio, like Highway to Hell, or that Rolling Stones one. It's like, pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name, and just other creepy songs that would come on that almost sounded like someone was like threatening me, through the lyrics almost. Just tell that it was like, but it's also like a lot of other weird shit, like just seeing strange things around town, like just weird characters. Some people seem to play different roles, different characters or something, but it's the same fucking person. Like somebody will be in a, wheelchair or something, looking all injured and fucked up, or looking like a homeless person one day, and you'll see them on the other side of town dressed in like normal clothes, with their hair slicked back, looking all sober and shit. And they got a car. Oh, dude, yeah. On a basic level, like there's so many different things that I've seen, right? Like when I was doing DoorDash, at first I was getting followed by these little red cars all the time, following me around everywhere. I'd see them everywhere I went. And then sometimes it was a white car, sometimes it was a black car. But it's all these little compact cars. There was red ones, white ones, and black ones. Depending on the day, it would be, I'd be followed around by red cars everywhere I go, or I'd run into them everywhere I go. These little compact red cars, or it would be these little compact black cars. Sometimes it would be the little compact white cars. Yeah, it's just one example. It's just a lot of really weird shit, dude. So many things, like almost too many to mention. Really, it's just because it's been going on for so long. I've had so many weird experiences. Can't tell you how many times I've there's like somebody fucking sitting there on a bike, like pointing their phone at me, like looks like they're recording me while I'm getting gas at the gas station. I've had people walk up and like stand in front of me and take a selfie with me behind them and stuff like that. I've had people I never fucking met before, say hi and they know my name. I've gone to the. I remember I went to the coast, and this sort of shit's happened before, where I'll drive somewhere 50, 60 miles away that I haven't been to since I was a little kid or something, or for many years, and I hadn't really ever hung out there for any length of time. Walk into a convenience store to get a Slurpee or a soda or something. Yeah, fuck it. My name's Joel. All right. So I'm checking out, get my Slurpee or whatever. They're like, "Have a nice day, Joel," or something, or "How's it going, Joel?" Like, the people fucking 50, 60 goddamn miles away don't know them from anywhere. They know my fucking name. Like, they saw me coming, you know? It'd be fucking. I'd see some of the same. Like, I had times where I went to the coast, right? I stayed at a motel at the coast once, and right? And it's the same fucking, like, RVs, same cars, same people that I saw following me around in fucking town over here, like 60 fucking miles away, are over there at the coast when I visit the coast. Like, I went to a I was about to take off out of Oregon with my dad, but he was kind of just started being a real jerk at the time, and I guess I had second thoughts, so I wanted to get out of there. But I was up, got way, like, almost to the end of the state that I'm in, right? And we're in some random town I'd never even been to before. At some shitty motel. And some dude that walked past, like, he said my name, like, oh, hi, and said my name, right? Like, who the fuck is this guy? Right? Who are these people? I mean, that's like the sort of Truman Show type of shit, It'd be like if you're walking. Yeah, like him in the Truman Show, if he's like, walking into some store he's never been into in another town, and people are walking up to him going, "Hi, Truman, how are you doing?" He doesn't know who the fuck they are. Yeah, right. Like, I've had all kinds of shit like that, dude. So many strange things, dude. There's so I don't know. I don't know what's connected to what. Like, another thing that's weird is I don't know if I should even mention this or if it's even related at all, but there's this I was staying in Corrales for a while, and had to go up there for something, I don't remember what, and my sister was there, John was there, and they stopped off at this grocery store. It's a grocery store that I had never been in before, but I had been in there multiple times in my dreams. I had been in this store in my dreams. So when I went into the store, I knew everything was because I recognized the inside of the store and the layout, and it's like I knew where everything was because in my dreams, I had been to this store. Where, yeah. I don't know, a lot of places I've been in my dreams, I wonder if they exist in real life, somewhere. Buildings and houses I've been in my dreams and things. I don't know, like, I know that, like, I've seen some, like, pretty cool bathrooms in my dreams and stuff to where, like, if I was ever rich, I would probably try to recreate something similar to the type of bathtubs that whirlpool bathtubs that I saw, and the shower and stuff like that. The places that I've never been to in my life, but like I would probably base my bathroom design if I was designing my own bathroom or something on some of the shit that I've seen in my dreams. It's like some of this shit's pretty cool. I've seen, yeah. I don't know what made me think of bathrooms, but It's just I've seen some, yeah, I've seen some pretty cool like bathrooms and stuff in my dreams. And don't get me wrong, I've been in like rich people's houses. My family over in Arizona is pretty well to do, but their bathrooms weren't as cool as the bathrooms I saw in my fucking some of my dreams. It's just there's a common theme. Like there's these tubs that are like sunk into the floor, but they're kind of like about the size of like a hot tub. They're not like above ground where you have to climb into them. They're like ground level. You walk down into them, and there's like lights in some of them, and it's like they're basically almost like a hot tub or something. But it's a bathtub. You fill it up with water, and the shower is like a whole room that you just walk into, and it's got a drain in the floor, and I don't know. Never mind, that's weird shit. But I guess that's kind of off topic, weird, sidetracked fucking thing there, talking about that sort of shit. I've seen a lot of weird, interesting, weird stuff in my dreams. And sometimes I do feel like I'm being tested here in this world. Like some people, like people are judging me and trying to test me to test to see if I have really good character or something. Sometimes even in my dreams, shit like that. But what it feels like to me is like I'm just getting walked all over and used and like fucking manipulated and fucked with. Honestly. I don't know how to explain it. It's I could give you some examples for like when I've been out making deliveries and stuff. How the world like in what we're supposed to believe is the physical world or whatever. Some days throw all these weird tests at me and like really fuck with me when I'm out driving around. So that's why I don't want to go out and drive around unless I'm like 110% like energized and ready to go because there's just obstacles, people coming at me from every fucking direction. And I'm having to drive evasively and make quick maneuvers and shit to avoid accidents all the fucking time. People trying to fucking, wreck into me, short stopping in front of me, people fucking wandering out from my blind spot, ready to. I mean, really, dude, It's to the point where, like when I get in the driver's seat and start the car, I'm almost tempted to hop out of the car, to go look underneath the car, check behind the car to make sure there's not somebody like laying underneath my fucking back wheel or something, just to try to get me to run them over. It's just, I have people come out of fucking nowhere where I looked in every fucking direction, there's nobody there, they just pop up and fucking try to get me to back into them with my car. They just come out of fucking nowhere. People, I remember I had to make a delivery to this one place. I was at and I listened to the damn GPS like an idiot, and I was going to turn down this one road over this pizza place, right? I get to the turn, and there's, you know, just non-stop wall of traffic in the other lane, and then there was a clear area for a minute, and then there was like I swear, like 5 or 10 people decided to cross the street right there, and they're all carrying babies. Like, it's just like, so I had to like, wait for the. There's always some shit like that where it's like, oh, I don't know, just weird shit. Like, I'm always running into obstacles around every turn of one kind or another. Whether it be person, darting across the road with a baby in their arms, trying to come out of one of my blind spots or something, or a homeless person, or maybe a deer or turkey or all kinds of weird shit. Fucking bird, just. And I'm always like trying to like just to make sure everybody's safe and stuff, but like so many blind spots on that car, but I really have to watch my ass anytime I go driving, because like I try to get somewhere, like there's just endless amounts of people coming from every goddamn direction, to the point where it's almost impossible to see them. I mean, I gotta have my head on a swivel, like spinning around like the goddamn poltergeist, or like the chick in The Exorcist, the projectile vomiting and the spinning head or something. Like, I gotta have my head like darting all over the place all the time when I'm out driving, because there's so many fucking things, so many people, especially people try like that seem to be just going out of their way to like try to get me to hit them with my fucking car or something, like, and I'd have to really look out, because and other people don't have that shit happen. I mean, other people can go out, blind as a bat, drive like a maniac all day, and get where they're going just fine. Everybody stays the fuck out of their way, not me, dude. Every fucking person, every obstacle that could possibly throw itself at me, for the most part, seems to throw itself at me everywhere I go. And then when I'm walking through a parking lot trying to get to a store or something, I really got to look out, because there's all kinds of people ready to try to back into me or run my ass over with their car or something, or people just walking straight at me, and I gotta try to get out of their way because they're just fucking rude, or trying to mob me or something. And I'm just trying to be polite, for the most part, but I'm also trying to get where the fuck I'm going. It's just easier for me to dodge people and avoid the drama and conflict, or whatever they're trying to elicit, or whatever. Easier for me to get where I'm going faster if I just go around people and avoid people, rather than saying, fuck out of my way. Just start fucking drama. I don't need that shit. You know? Yeah, it's easier to just try to, dodge and avoid, and, duck, dodge, avoid, go around people that are in the fucking way, rather than try to let myself get trapped. Dude, I'm always dealing with shit in the way. Like, it's hard to find a road where there's not some kind of construction going on, or there's not some kind of obstacle in the fucking way that I have to find a way to get around, to find, take some alternate route all the time where I'm fucking going. There's just too much shit in the way. Just and sometimes, like, when I drive around trying to make deliveries, the amount of weird obstacles that get in my way is so bad that I almost feel like I could have just pushed the shopping cart to the customer's house faster than I could fucking drive over there. Shit. course, I imagine there'd be shit my way then, too, you know? I gotta say, though, you know, people, just as a, you know, little polite warning or something, you might want to take into account and be aware of the fact that my car has a Panther frame. Like, that thing's got the strongest looking frame of any vehicle I've ever had. Like, in my last vehicle before that, well, no, my second to last vehicle before that was a 1989 Chevy Silverado extended cab with a long bed, you know? It's a 80s pickup truck. And I think if I was to wreck this car into that 80s pickup truck, that 80s pickup truck would be fucking demolished by the frame on this car, dude. So, just saying. Yeah. Yeah, if ever there was a type of like vehicle frame in a car that looked like it was designed to like ram shit, like that would be it, dude. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have the old, like, you know, 70s or 80s body design that was way tougher, but the frame is still there. Yeah. It looks pretty heavy duty. It's one of the reasons why there's so many blind spots on the car. Because, like, the fucking roll cab inside the thing has got such a sturdy, fucking heavy duty, thick frame that, you know, where it's covered up, that it's, like, blocking a lot of areas where I could see out the windows otherwise, you know? That's part of the reason. Yeah, it definitely looks like it has a sturdier frame. I mean, I would bet on the frame of that thing versus most pickup trucks, probably. Yeah. If there's like a demolition derby or something, like that thing would fucking smash the fuck out of shit, dude. Yeah. But you know, I'm trying to avoid that. You know, every as much as possible, right? I was just sick of the weird Truman Show Matrix shit that I gotta deal with all the fucking time, man. Having to actually go to work and do a bunch of stupid shit to try to make money and pay bills and just all the stupid little hoops I gotta jump through. I'm gonna go out there and pretend like this is fucking normal or something when it's so fucking isn't, you know?